Hey everyone, welcome back. It's just me, Star Cub. Today I'm just gonna do a easy one. It is on a Ti West film from 2022. It's the prequel to the first film in his series, X. This one is Pearl. It's written and directed by Ti West, co-written by, of course, Mia Goth. She reprises her role as Pearl from X, and basically it's a prequel setting up the origin story of the titular character Pearl. It's basically set in 1918 during the influenza pandemic. Her husband Howard is off in World War I. Her father is a paraplegic. He's in a wheelchair, can't talk. He's basically a little bit of a vegetable. And her mother Ruth is let's put it, a ruthless bitch. Very, very neglectful mother. They live in a Texas homestead. The titular house from X is featured in the prequel. She lives with her overbearing parents. Her father basically is a paraplegic, can't talk, whatever, like I said. And basically, it's her descent into pretty much madness, from her point of view being Howard being away, her sexual awakening, her overbearing mother, she's just a ruthless bitch. Like, real ruthless bitch. And put it simply, Mia Goth as Pearl. Let's face it, give the girl a fucking Oscar already. I mean, wow. Her performance in it was absolutely amazing. She did a dual role for X, and a lot of people knew that she had done a dual role for X, which was really, really well done, because I had no idea that she'd done a dual role until I dug a little bit into it after the film had finished and realized that, oh my god, she played the older Pearl from X, and she did a fantastic job in X, playing the one of the killers in it, essentially. But do I think that Pearl lives up to X? You'll have to find out. To all those that are new to my channel, thank you so much for coming and checking my channel out. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell to keep up to date with my channel. For anyone that is returning, thanks very much for returning. Alright, now, like I said, does it live up to Ti West's X? Which is technically the first film. Pearl is the prequel, but it's the second film. And then, obviously, there's another film coming out, Maxine, which I'm looking absolutely forward to. I can't wait to see what they do with the 1984 setting, set in Los Angeles, during the dirty, gritty period of, well, let's put it this way, it's basically the porn industry. And I got a feeling it's going to go down a lot of rabbit holes with the whole craze of porn in the 80s. I mean, porn was big in the 70s, but I think the 80s is a much more gritty, dirty age for porn as opposed to the 70s. 70s was very, very different, but I like the fact that as soon as I saw the little teaser for it set in 1984, I was like, oh my god, it is definitely the porn industry. It is set around the big explosion of the porn industry in the 80s. So I can't wait to see what they do with that one. And her character from X now revolves around the porn industry. I can't wait to see what they do with that. But in regards to Pearl, I don't think it, in my honest opinion, Mia Goth is absolutely fantastic in it. I'm not dissing her whatsoever, and she deserves an Oscar. I mean, come on, Hollywood, give her a damn Oscar. She portrays her character so well. She's so in character. She's just so convincing as a psycho, but starting all innocent and sweet, and then turning into an absolute cunt. Pardon my French. But yeah, turns into a total bitch. Pardon my French again. But some of the execution for what Ti West did with this film was a little bloated for me, unfortunately. And people will if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, he also dedicated this. It actually feels like you're watching a golden age of Hollywood movie, particularly The Wizard of Oz and Mary Poppins. So it's kind of like a love letter to the golden age of Hollywood. He absolutely did a fantastic job of that. It's some of the transition from her being all innocent and sweet to turning into a total psycho fell a little flat for me, unfortunately. There were a lot of times where it had a very, very, very big build-up. I mean, nothing happened for at least the first, what felt like over an hour of the film already. And not a lot has happened in terms of killings and murders and all that kind of stuff. It's more psychological. It's more like psychological damage. You've really got to. It's her way of coping with her mother and her father and her husband being away, and then obviously she comes into contact with a guy that works at one of the local works at the theater there, and he shows her stag films, and she gets involved with that, and that's where it explores the whole sexual awakening. Although she was already experiencing that, I think it elevated that a lot more. But it took a very long time to build up to her being, coming into the whole killings, and it wasn't until towards the end that where most of the majority of the gore come from. And I think that was a big letdown for me. The gore wasn't as graphic as what I thought it was going to be. The build-up to the origin story of it, some of it just doesn't sit well with me, unfortunately. And this is no disrespect for Ti West. I mean, I love Ti West's films. Oh, excuse me. But Pearl is nowhere near on the level of what X brought to the screen. X the pacing was well done, the story was well done, the characters were well done, the setting, the gore that was incorporated into the whole story. It wasn't just needless gore for needless gore's sake. It all fitted into the story. Whereas Pearl, set during 1918, and she's going crazy with her mother and her father, and then there's an alligator involved that she brought up in the swamp there. It all plays into, virtually leads into X, but the whole story that Ti West and Mia Goth were trying to tell in Pearl, I think fell flat for me, unfortunately. Like I said, this pacing was horrible in a lot of spots, and just when you think she's going nuts with making out with a scarecrow in the middle of a field, Ti West doesn't push the envelope enough with that. There was a scene as well where she gets in the bathtub naked, and then her father's is there, and she's cleaning herself, and her father's watching her. I thought they were going to push the envelope a bit where she gets out of the bathtub to look at her dad and whatnot. I thought she was going to push the envelope a bit and expose herself to him. And I mean, in my head, I thought that's what the envelope is. She was pushing the envelope to see how her sexual awakening would be. I mean, would constitute as incest. I get it. But I think it didn't push the bar enough, and I think this is where Pearl falls flat for me. It didn't push the bar high enough. Her transition from sweet and innocent to and a downright psycho took way too long. It was building and building and building and building, but not a lot. There wasn't a lot of, in my opinion, there needed to be more meat to the story, and there needed to be a lot more shit psychologically that happens to her to get her to that point. I feel like it came too slow, and then towards the end, it just came too quickly. And I don't know, I loved X. I thought X was a great craft in storytelling. Absolutely. The pacing was absolutely amazing. Pearl's pacing was horrible, in my opinion. It was horrible. The only good thing about it was Mia Goth. Her really creepy smile at the end was really amazing to see. Like, her keeping that pose for the remainder of those credits was absolutely genius. It was absolutely golden. Like I said, she deserves an Oscar. No disrespect to anyone that worked on this film, but I've seen a lot of people give Pearl absolute praise that, Ti West did it again. In some respects, he did smack it out of the ballpark with some parts. Other parts, no. He dragged the story on too long. The transition, the pacing was just off. Some of the characters didn't feel it was kind of like, just kill them now, kill them Pearl, just do it. But I feel like the gore came towards the end, the violent part of it, and I feel like it really missed the ballpark there. But I'd love to hear from other people that have seen this, that absolutely love Pearl, people that didn't like Pearl, people that liked Pearl but had their opinions on it. Drop your comments down below and let me know how everyone else felt, like how yous all felt about it, because in my opinion, it was okay. It wasn't Ti West's best, and I certainly don't think that it deserved all that great praise, because X did a lot better than Pearl, and X was absolutely outstanding as a film. Ti West blew me out of the water park with that one. But in regards to Pearl, I didn't enjoy it as much as what I thought I was going to, and I was disappointed with a lot of the story elements, and I was disappointed with how easily and how much build-up it took to get her to get to that point where she was hacking and slashing and become an absolute psycho. So for me, I probably rate Pearl a 7. Yeah, a 7. I mean, I liked it. I think Mia Goth was the standout in that film. She needs an Oscar because her role in that was convincing as fuck. She did an absolutely brilliant job, and I commend her on that. I can't wait to see what they do with Maxine, what she does, and reprises her role, her main title character role from X. And I can't wait to see what Maxine will bring to the cinemas. But other than that, thank you all for tuning in. You guys know what to do. I'll flash the buttons on the screen. The like, subscribe, and a notification bell to keep up to date. And yeah, I'll get a couple more videos out as soon as I can. Watch out for them, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Alright, you've been great. Thank you. Bye.